Welcome back to Mental Health Miss Maddie, and today I'm going to go over how to ask for help, or how you can turn to help and get help, because a lot of kids ask me all the time. They're like, I don't have anyone to go to, or my parents don't understand, or my parents think I'm faking it. So I really want to hit that today. So I always tell kids this: you should go to your parents first, because you got to go in the chain of command. You need to let your parents know how you're feeling. Let them know, and they're probably going to react in a way you're not ready for them to react, because guess what? Our age group, I would say 30 and under, are so health conscious that we know how we feel. We know we need help. Their generation wasn't as exposed to it growing up. You know, whether you want to blame it's the preservatives in food, or it's the new medical stuff we're finding, it just wasn't as prevalent when they were our age. And so you have to give them a chance to understand what you're going through. So tell them, reach out and be like, look, I'm struggling. Here are my thoughts. If you truly need to go to a hospital, let them take you. You know, maybe explain to them, no, I don't need to go to a hospital now, but I would like a counselor, or I need someone to help me process because I'm not very good. There's nothing to be ashamed about. I can honestly say, yeah, I would have been terrified to go to my parents, but guess what? They would have found the resources. They would have seen and said, how can we help you? Sometimes parents give us different answers than we think they're going to. So don't assume that their first response to you is going to be negative, that their first response is going to be, you're fine, or they're mad. Now, if it is, we need to move to a different chain of command. If your parents pull the whole, you have everything, you should be happy card, that's not okay. They're not validating you. They're not letting you express your emotions, and they're not even giving you a chance. So then I would recommend telling a trusted adult. I don't know if it's like a school counselor, a teacher, someone you trust. If you do tell a school teacher or a counselor, they are mandated reporters, so they do have to make a report, and you will get the help you need, which means you will either go to a psych facility or you will meet with an outside counselor. Now, if you throw out, you know, I'm not SI, but I am having bad thoughts, I need help, maybe a counselor can keep it under wraps, but I do know that they are mandated reporters, which means in the long run, they do have to tell someone. It's more of a liability thing, but you have to understand they're there for you and they care for you. It's their job to give you the resources you need. If you don't want to tell a mandated reporter, tell a friend's parent, tell a neighbor, tell a different family member, tell someone you trust, someone you know who will listen. You know, what I don't recommend is telling a friend. If you tell a friend and you're not in crisis, you don't know how they're going to react. You don't know what they're going through. If they're going through something worse, if they're trauma, if they just experienced something and they're not telling about, that could set them over the edge. So I never recommend telling your friends how bad you're feeling. Just tell them, hey, I'm having a bad day, or hey, I need to talk to someone, or do you have any tips on who to talk to? Because you never know what someone's going through, and you guys are teens, you know, you're not adults, your brains aren't fully developed, you haven't learned all the skills you need to get through life, so maybe look for a trusted adult. So let's say you go to your neighbor, and you're friends with your neighbor, and you just say, can I talk to you? You know, I don't want this going back to my parents, but I do need help, and no one's validating how I'm feeling, and this is how I feel. They can give you some great advice. Maybe there's stuff you haven't thought about. Maybe there's answers to some of the solutions, like, well, what's your trigger? Well, my trigger are my friends. Okay, are they kind of the best group of friends for you? Maybe you need a new group of friends. They can try to help you. Not everyone has to turn you in, but you have to take it with with what it is. If you tell someone you are truly SI, HI, anything, they're gonna report it because they care. And having someone tell your parents or having someone report you isn't a backstabbing move. It's them doing it because they genuinely care and love and want to help you. So take that as they're here for me, not against me. That's the big thing, is that they're there. Now, if you have an abusive family, or they're very narcissistic, or they do hurt you, you do need to tell someone. You know, we get a lot of kids that come in who have gone through abuse their whole life and they never say anything. And when we ask why, they say they were scared. And I know it can be very, very, very scary, but you are worth it. You're worth the checks. You're worth the people checking on you. You're worth someone reaching out, and you're worth having a happy life. So if you're going through something really, really bad at home, know that there are people out there for you, and they're ready to help you. There's so many ways to get out of a bad situation. And I know at home right now, we're all kind of stuck and we aren't really coming into contact with anyone, but people have emails. If your home's abusive, email your teacher and tell them and be like, look, I'm not in a good home situation and it's really bad and I have no way out. Can you help me? And they're gonna help you. Don't be scared to ask for help. A lot of us really struggle with that. I mean, even I did up until the past couple years. I hated asking for help. When I was really upset, I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want anyone to know what was going on. I was embarrassed. My best friend knew at the time, but like that was it. I didn't want to put it on anyone. And that's not the mindset to have, because if you reach out, people will usually help you. So that's a quick video on how you can reach out and ask for help. If you need help, just don't be afraid. I'll put some of the hotline numbers at the end of this video to help you guys. But just remember, it's not a bad life. It might be a bad day, month, or year, but your happiness is so close. Just keep pushing. You got this.